Unit 1, Linear Models and Functions. Activity 1 is all about linear models. In this activity, you will work with the tables and graphs that model the linear relationship between two quantities. Your work will relate to several learning outcomes. The first one, about communication. You will carefully document your work, including defining variables, and you will explain your solution methods and the meanings of your solutions. Number 2, about multiple representation. So you will use graphs to determine symbolic representations of relationships, and you will use these representations to explain the meaning of values in the problem. The third one is about problem solving. You will use tables, graphs, and equations to solve problems that involve cost and revenue, population, and other situations. And the last one, skills. You will demonstrate your ability to read and use tables and graphs to write the equation of a line and to find values. Let's start with the first example. The graph below shows a relationship between the number of bicycles a company produces and the company's cost. And letter A, let's define X and Y in this situation. You can see that our X is, yes, it's the number of bicycles a company produces. And what is your Y? Yes, it is the company's cost. Next, letter B. What is the y-intercept of the line and how did you find it? So what do we know about the y-intercept? So y-intercept, that is where a line crosses the y-axis. Let's take a look at this line. Let's follow this line. Oh, it crosses the y-axis. It crosses at this point, at the point 0, 2000. So that is the y-intercept. So again, don't forget the y-intercept refers to where a line crosses the y-axis. Letter C, explain or interpret what the y-intercept means using the context of this problem situation. So we know that that is where a line crosses the x-axis, that is the y-intercept. So based on this, we know that the y-intercept refers to the starting value or cost, and that value is 2000. So from this situation, the starting cost is $2,000. Letter D, what is the slope of the line and how did you find it? So what do we know about the slope? So the slope is described as the steepness of a line, and to measure slope, it is equal to rise over run, whereas rise is the vertical change and the run is the horizontal change. Let's use our graph here, and maybe let's use 2 points here, this point and this point. And using these 2 points, we'll be able to get our slope. So we have the vertical distance. This is what you call the rise, and that is 500. And this is the horizontal distance, which is the run, and that is 100. So to solve for the slope, that is 500 over 100. So our slope is equal to 5. Next one. Explain and interpret what the slope means using the context of this problem situation. As you can see here on our graph, it is increasing. So we can say that each time x increases by 100, the y value increases by 500. Or we can say also that each time the company produces 100 bicycles, the company's cost is $500 more. So that's the explanation or interpretation what the slope means using the context of this problem situation. Now, how are we going to write the equation of the line? So equation of the line is y is equal to mx plus b, whereas m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. We solve, slope is 5, so 5x, and our y-intercept is at this point, so that is at 2000. So our equation of the line is y equals 5x plus 2000. Next one, next problem. A classmate looks at the graph on the previous page and notices that when the company produces 100 bicycles, the cost is $2,500. She concludes that the company's cost is $2,500 over 100 bicycles. If you simplify this, is equal to $25 over 1 bicycle, or she said it's $25 for each 1 bicycle. Although her computation is correct, her interpretation is incorrect. Compare her calculation interpretation to your answers in parts D and E, and explain and or give an example of how her interpretation is incorrect. Let's go back and check the graph. She mentioned about when it's 100, this point here is 125. And what she did was she divided 2,500 over 100, and she got $25 per bicycle. Is that always the case? Actually, let's try. How about this point here? This is the number of bicycles, 200, and the cost, 3,000. But we know that if we use her computation, is 3,000 over 200 equals 25. No, it's actually equals 15. So that already contradicted her claim. So that's why it is incorrect. If you want to try another one, let's try 600. This point is 600 and the cost 5,000. But if we try that and use her computation, 5,000 over 600 is equal to 8.33. So that's why, again, her calculation is incorrect. Oh, and interpretation that each bicycle costs $25. That is incorrect, because based on this, look at this, it's 15, this is 8.33, so we cannot use that. Number 2, find the equation of a line that has a slope of -2 and y-intercept of 3. So let's recall our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. You already have the slope, which is -2. So y equals -2x, and the y-intercept of 3, so plus 3. So this is the answer for number 2. Number 3, find the equation of a line that has a slope of 5 and goes to the point -3, 5. So this is an ordered pair, so we have x, y. So write an equation of a line. So again, let's use y equals mx plus b. As you can see, we have the slope m, which is 5. You have the x and the y, and we will be able to solve for the y-intercept b. So let's substitute all those here. Y is 5 equals m is the slope 5, x is -3 plus b. 5 times -3 is -15 plus b. If we add 15 both sides, that is going to be equal to 20. So that is our y-intercept. And using the slope-intercept form, we can write our equation of a line. Y equals, slope is 5x, and the y-intercept 20. Number 4, find the equation of a line that has a slope of 2/3 and goes through the point -6, -5. So again, you have the slope of 2/3 and goes through the point -6, -5. So again, this is your x and y. So let's do the same thing. So we know y equals mx plus b. Y is -5 equals, the slope is 2/3, x is -6 plus b. Let's simplify this. What is 2/3 times -6? 2 times -6 is -12 divided by 3 is -4. Or I think it's easier, -6 divided by 3 is -2 times 2 is -4 plus b. And then to isolate b, we add 4 both sides. So -5 plus 4 is -1. So that is our y-intercept. So now we can write the equation of the line. Y equals, slope is 2/3 x plus b, which is -1. So 2/3 x minus 1. Okay, and last problem. Find the equation of a line that goes through the points 4, 8, and 5, 5. So by the way, since we know that, let's recall, the slope is the change in y over the change in x, that's rise over run. So meaning that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you can find the slope with this. So let's solve that. So if this is your x1, y1, x2, y2, so y2 minus y1 is 5 minus 8 over 5 minus 4. 5 minus 8 is -3 over 5 minus 4 is 1. So the slope is equal to -3. Next, so to find the equation of the line, we want y equals to mx plus b. So we already have a slope which is -3. Now you can choose either of the 2 points for us to substitute 2x and y. I think it's easier if we use 5, 5. So let's do that. So y is 5 is equal to the slope is -3 times 5 plus b. -3 times 5 is -15. And to isolate b, we need to add 15 both sides. So 5 plus 15 is 20. So our y-intercept is 20. So now the equation of the line is y equals mx plus b. So m, the slope is -3, x plus b, 20. Okay, that's it for activity 1. Thank you.